So as we are nearing to the FOMC, which is going to take place tomorrow, the market has already started to react. I mean, the price of Bitcoin has already started to turn very, very volatile. But the question here is it going to favor the longs or is it going to favor the shorts? What kind of scenario should we expect for the medium short term? What kind of scenario we should expect for the upcoming days? We are going to talk about all of this in today's video. So please watch this video till the end. And before I jump into the content, guys, if you haven't destroyed that like button, then do it right now. And for those individuals watching this for the first time, come on, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Now, looking at this in a bigger time frame, you know, according to this ideal buy for investor from Stan Weinstein, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to show a retracement towards this 25,000 range before again continuing this uptrend. Why? Because according to this ideal buy for investor, if you look on the right hand side, there could be, after breaking out of this key line of resistance in point A, there could be a potential retest from this previous temporary resistance line before price starts showing this impulsiveness. But we also found out it's not just only this trend line which is indicating, even if we are going to see any sort of a weakness, that is absolutely normal as long as we are going to hold this support line, because we know even this one simple example here in a weekly time frame, which we talked on my yesterday's video, I showed you guys with this rising trend line which is holding the price since 2017, and this exact line also got retested, because we know each and every time the price has found support at this rising trend line, after that we have seen some very nice impulsive movement playing out in price action of Bitcoin, and this is exactly where we came, and since then we are also showing this bullishness. So what I'm trying to pinpoint here, in our case, if this trend is going to continue further here to the upside, where are we expecting the price of Bitcoin to get gravitated? Towards the next area of confluence. Yes, this exact line is where we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to get gravitated before it chooses a trend direction. And why? Because this is a line of confluence here to the upside, and this is where I personally also think the market could be getting gravitated before it chooses a trend direction, and that will be somewhere between 30,000 to 33,000 range. And even if we are going to see any sort of a shakeout here in the medium short term, you can see this horizontal trend line also looking through this linear chart could be acting as additional support, because this exact line was a line of resistance and we could be finding support around that area. And why we are expecting the price of Bitcoin, even after some shakeout, to continue this uptrend higher. I mean, if we look at the RSI line here to the downside, each and every time whenever the market showed sign of reversal, an actual trend reversal, we have seen RSI also pointing us. I mean, whenever the market was at its peak, the RSI was also around overbought area here in a weekly time frame. And then when we approached the overbought area, after that the market also slowly started declining. Again, RSI came at the top after finding support at this rising trend line, indicated, hey, now we have to be careful because the trend might be reversing, and it did, right? You can see we came at this exact rising trend line. After that, market started showing this bullishness. Again, same thing happened here. RSI indicated we are around the overbought area and price of Bitcoin was at its peak. So when the price of Bitcoin was at its peak, the RSI was also around the overbought area. And after that, you know, the price of Bitcoin also started showing weakness. RSI also started heading towards the oversold area. But in our case right now, if we look at the price action, if we look at this RSI here in a weekly time frame, there is still some room for RSI to move here. So if this is going to be another sign, I mean, if this RSI is going to continue further here to the upside, heading towards the overbought area, until then we also have plenty of room to grow here to the upside. So unless this RSI here in a weekly time frame does not appear around the overbought area, I think the market still has plenty of potential to continue this uptrend even after some shakeout. And we know, guys, we have talked about this Williams alligator indicator here in a daily time frame, and we also can see this Williams alligator indicator is clearly indicating any sort of a weakness. This exact trend line are going to be acting as a support, and these are also in between 26,000 25,000 range. I mean, this upper line, this red line, right, the mouth and the jawline is still going to be acting as one of the strongest support for Bitcoin, because if we look at the MACD here to the downside in a daily time frame, this is a bullish MACD cross, RSI above 50 level, which is a very good sign, and even the T3CCI in a positive territory, indicating the momentum is there. I mean, the momentum for price to continue this uptrend is still there. So let's hope, right? Let's hope that this trend continues this uptrend, and even if we are going to see some weakness, then unless we are not going to break below 25,000, we should not worry that much, because we know, even if we look at this in a bit different way using the inverse head and shoulder scenario, which we talked on my yesterday's video, I am very clear, guys. Even if this is going to fake out and price, instead of showing some movement here like this, start showing a reversal, then the neckline, which previously acted as a strong line of resistance, is going to be acting as another additional line of support for Bitcoin. And not just only that, even this 200 weekly moving average, yes, this 200 weekly moving average line, the red line, is going to be additional support for Bitcoin around 25,400 range. So as long as we remain above 25,000, any sort of a shakeout should not bother us that much, because according to the inverse head and shoulder, our target is going to be around 30,000 to 33,000 range. And just by looking at this continuation, I mean this A, B, C, D continuation, our target is going to be around 29,400 to 30,000 range. So that's why we said we do have some potential to continue this uptrend before we finally decide the trend direction. And now, guys, now what I also want you to look at is this broadening top. Yes, according to the broadening top, the price has already broken the key line of resistance, and now in this area, even if the price does shows weakness, you can see in a daily time frame, the upper line, which previously acted as a strong line of resistance, could be acting as additional support around 26,000, 27,000. So we are building a strong support above 25,000 layer by layer. So that's why any sort of a shakeout, unless this key line of support does not get broken, we are still expecting the market to show bullishness. We are still expecting the price of Bitcoin to get gravitated around 30,000, 33,000, between that range before it chooses a trend direction. So let's forget this weekly, let's forget this daily. Now let's look at this in a 4-hour time frame, because in a 4-hour time frame, the price already looks like it could be coming back to test the 25,000 support line, because this here is a rising wedge. Rising wedge support has already been broken. But what I want you guys to look at, even though this rising wedge is clearly signaling a reversal towards 25,000, but if you look at this in an hourly time frame, for example, if you look at this symmetrical triangle breakout scenario, according to this previous symmetrical triangle during an uptrend, once we broke the upper line resistance, what happened? We started impulsive movement before price started showing weakness. And in our case, this trend was also supposed to continue here like this, but now we are seeing weakness, right? Price breaking the lower trend line. But what I want you guys to clearly understand is that even though this might look like a continuation into the downside, the market could still form a reversal here in this manner. I mean, a reversal to the upside after liquidating all the over leveraged longs, and then again continuing this rally here to the upside, because we know, even according to the CPI indicator, this CPI for today, for 21st of March, is a inside value CPR, a very narrow CPR, which usually indicates an uptrend. But in our case, after forming this small double top formation, price started breaking it to the downside. But according to the CPR, since this is still not a descending CPR, it is still an ascending CPR, the market could still favor the longs. Even after this fake out, if we manage to come across this CPR line, which is going to be between 27,800 to 27,900 range, if we do come back and find support, then we know in that case the previous day high is going to be looked as our target area, which is sitting around 28,500 to 28,550 range. So that's why this is going to be looked as our upcoming target if the price manages to come back above this CPR line. But if we fail, I mean if the price actually continues this bearishness, also continues this symmetrical triangle here like this, in that case the previous day low, which is around 27,240 to 27,180, is going to be our target area. And after approaching around that, I think this will be a very strong line of support for Bitcoin for today, because this here is a daily CPR. So these are some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, guys, then please destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.